Alright, so with two-point perspective, you must remember that you have your picture plane, your horizon line, and your ground line. Your picture plane and your stationary point, or the place where you are standing, are all part of your top view. Then they will give you either a front and a side view. Sometimes they'll give you both. Your front and side view work with your ground line and your horizon line. So that's all part of looking at it from the front. So you need to understand that this is a combination of a top view and a front view. We use the measurements from our top view and the measurements from our front and side view in order to do these drawings. First thing you are going to look for is the angle that our object is inclined at. So it's either going to be 30-60, so straight away I can tell you now that it's not 30-60. So I'm going to take my 45 and have a look, and you'll notice that it's at 45. So in order to find your vanishing points, we are going to draw a 45-degree line from the standing point or the stationary point. We project it up till it hits the picture plane, and then we project it down to where it crosses the horizon line. This I'm going to label my right vanishing point, and on this side I'm going to project it at 45, where it hits the picture plane. I'm going to project it down, and that's going to give me my left vanishing point. Right, once you have found your two vanishing points, you then are going to ignore these two lines. You only use these lines here to find your vanishing points. Once you've got your vanishing points, you ignore these two lines to the point where you can actually even remove them, leaving the lines at the top to show how you found your lines, if that's going to confuse you. So make sure you've got a little bit of line at the bottom, a little bit of line at the top to the picture plane and down. Label left vanishing point, label right vanishing point. Then we've got to look at our drawing and we've got to interpret what we see. So they are telling me that I have a cement porch that goes around the house, and looking at this view over here, I've got to work out what it looks like. I can see this window over here, and it's got a door, is looking at it from the left-hand side. So this window over here belongs to this window here, and then this door over here is that part over there. So always take a minute or two to try and imagine what it looks like in 3D, and then once you've got an idea, you are then going to draw anything that is touching that picture plane, because anything touching the picture plane can be drawn in dark straight away because it is going to be true. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to project my height line. So anything touching that picture plane, I'm just going to project this line down because that there is touching the picture plane there. And this point here is touching the picture plane there, so anything that is off of those 2 points would be quite easy to find. I'm going to take the height for my porch across. And that over here is the first part that you are going to see. From here, I'm going to take this to the right. Because I can see that this angle over here goes to the right. So from this point here, I can see that this line goes to the right. Therefore, these two lines need to go to my right vanishing point. If I look at this side over here, the bottom of that house is going to go back. So this here is going to go back to my left vanishing point. And I can see that I'm going to have this area over here, so that I'm taking it back to the left. It's very important that you have very sharp pencils for this section. And if you're using a clutch, make sure you keep turning it so that it stays sharp, because you have to try and be as accurate as you can. Looking at this side of the porch, I can see that it's going to line up with the edge of this house. So I know that the porch is going to end at this corner over here. And if I'm standing here looking at this house, this is my line of sight. I would see this corner, project it to my picture plane, and bring it down. Right, so the next part is very important. This wall over here is not up against the picture plane. If I asked you to find me a square box, we would extend this down to here, and I'd extend this down to here, and I would find the back of that box. So first thing we're going to do is we are going to project this down where it hits my picture plane. I'm going to bring it down to where it crosses this height line here, because I want to find this point here. So where it crosses this line here, I'm going to take it back. I'm going to go to this corner, project it down, and where it crosses that line there, that is going to be the back of my box. If I wanted to make sure that I was very accurate, I would go to my vanishing point, I'd project that back, and I would repeat that process. And if you have been accurate, it should go through that exact same point. Sometimes it's quite difficult to do these because of the photostatting, but as long as you've got that square box that you have created there, because this is not on your picture plane. So that over there is where the wall is going to start. I'm going to just show you another method of doing this. If I had a point that was floating in the middle of nowhere and I needed to find that point, all I would need to do is extend it down till it touches the picture plane, and you will notice that this then becomes a true length line. So if I wanted to find the corner of that house, it would be this height over here. So I project that height back to there, and I would then be able to take this line back to my vanishing point, and you will notice that it passes through that exact same point. Please feel free to stop me at any point. I'll push pause and I can come and help you if you're struggling. I've now found the bottom of my walls. You can either do the windows, or you could go ahead and find the roof. Remembering that the windows are not touching any of these true length lines. So a good way to find your door, for example, is to extend it down, find your door height on that true length line, and then on this line take it back to where it crosses those 2 points. So that is the height of the door. Remember that there are 3 measurements that you have to find. You have to find the width, and that last one you have to find the depth. Right, so having a look at this drawing here, this hidden detail is your wall, and this outline here is your roof detail. So if I wanted to find the roof detail, it would be quite simple because it is touching this picture plane. So all I would need to do is take the height of the roof. So I'm going to need this height as well as the top of the roof. So the first height I'm going to take across is this one over here, and where it crosses the picture plane, that is going to be the true height. So that is where the roof starts. At this point, I take it back to my vanishing point, to where it crosses this corner here, and that is the roof. I take the height, to that height line, and I'm going to project it to my vanishing point to where it crosses this line over here. So this is the height I'm looking for. I transfer that height to my height line. I take that back to where it crosses that line. And that is how you find the roof. That roof line will go all the way to this corner over here. I'm going to repeat this process for this roof over here. I have two options. I can either bring it forward
I just get all the Does anyone have colored pencils? I suppose so. I do. What if I just gave you brown? I get so upset. I'm so upset. Yeah, but I already need them back because I need them back. Thanks. Take me one of those. What's your greatest reward? Okay, anyway, it's weird. It's a Russian. I appreciate you, Chris. Actually, do you have a cane? By any chance? Shoot.
Yeah, just see what happens.
What are you going to do about it? Okay, sorry. Yeah, that. Yeah, but you're extra. What is that?
Instead of talking.
I'm sorry.
Oh, snap! You've got a really weird habit of doing that. Yeah, I told her
You just take this